Sup, compassionate people? Welcome to Vegan News. Let's dive right in. In London, more than 8,000 people have joined calls for Sadiq Khan to ban the fox calling that will occur after Christmas, killing hundreds and hundreds of foxes. More than 10,000 people have already signed the petition to end this fox calling. And the only reason the fox calling itself is quote unquote necessary is because people leave all their garbage from Christmas out on the street curbs and it attracts animals into the city. If people would just pick up their garbage, none of the foxes would need to be killed. Other concerns coming from the council in the area are they don't want people running around the streets with rifles in a major city shooting foxes when a stray bullet could go off and kill somebody. It seems like the most reasonable thing to do would be to pick up their trash. In super scary, we're going to have hell on earth maybe the next 4 years news. China is providing us with a glimpse of an EPA-free future, or at the very least, our EPA being reduced down to rubble. According to the article, people are waking up to acid coal, rain, smokes, and mists, and lung cancer is rampant, and it's on and on. I'm sure many know how bad the air quality really is in China, where there are zero regulations, or nearly so. It's much like it is, and they're actually claiming in the article that will be linked down below that the levels are the same as they were here in the 70s into the 80s when we finally got real measures passed in 1989. Republicans are looking to end SO2 and CO2 caps that were put in place in 1989, which will devastate the environment. The air, the water, the soil will all be devastated. These pictures are absolutely heartbreaking, and it is a possibility of what we could go back to in this country for the sake of $1. eBay is allowing the sales of wolf pelts. Now, they also allow the sales of other dead animals, parts and pieces, but this is a particular concern because the wolf in question just got off the endangered species list in America, in North America. And now they're being sold on eBay. There's a petition going around. It'll be linked down below. We need to put a stop to this. It would be nice if we could get a stop put, of course, to all the animal parts and pieces being sold on eBay, because under their own terms of service in eBay, when you look at it, it does say no body parts, and it lists a bunch of other things like that. But I guess they leave the language open because really what they mean is human body parts in the most specious sense of everything. And finally, the one thing I really want to talk about today on the show, Carrie Fisher's death, and the way I've seen the vegan community reacting on Facebook and some other groups online in different places. For some reason, a lot of people seem to think it's acceptable to seize on her death, to exploit her death, and say that because she wasn't vegan, that she either deserved to die or that her death was caused by not being vegan. Now, while being vegan, being plant-based, is a way to reduce heart attacks and strokes and diabetes and cancer and everything else, and we know that, there was a lot more going on in her life throughout her lifetime, even up till now, than what people are doing, what I see fellow vegans using this for and exploiting her tragic death. She was bulimic, she was anorexic, she was a drug addict, she was an alcoholic for a long time. Those things took a toll on her body. There are gray areas in life. I even read 2 separate articles. One of them was by Dr. Neil Barnard, which I'm very I'm concerned about his article. I'm going to reread it again. I don't really want to talk about it that much. But the other article I read, which I'll link down below, was written by some random person I never heard of. And they purposely omitted all the things she went through in her life, all the body issues that a lot of women go through. They ignored that. And, and her drugs and her alcoholism and all that stuff that certainly affected her heart. And she was also training for the new movie, exercising and everything else. Excuse me, Boba. I myself am a gigantic Star Wars fan. I always have been. It means a lot to me. I got the Rebel Alliance, and I've got the Imperial insignia as well. I got them both back in 2005 at a midnight showing of Revenge of the Sith. Well, I got one of them, and I got the other one the next day. Her passing is like the first celebrity death that ever affected me. And then seeing the vegan community behave this way is very, very, very upsetting and disappointing. Very disappointing. We're supposed to have compassion for all beings. Humans are animals too. And her family is grieving. A lot of fans are grieving. And on top of that, when you say some of the things I've seen said, you're not projecting a good view of our community. It looks rude and spiteful and mean. I expect more. I really do. I'm not one to tell other people how to advocate. I really am not. But saying some of the things I've seen is crossing a line. And it's not a line that's okay to move past. It's really not. So in the future, I mean, if we could avoid saying stuff like that, because a fellow vegan could easily drop dead. And would we want people saying that? What about when that vegan over the summer died on Mount Everest and everybody blamed it on her veganism? That was horrible. That was absolutely terrible. That made me very angry at the time. And it's just as angry as this. So with all that heaviness, let's have a good day. Leave us a like, subscribe. More news again at 5 o'clock the next day. I love you guys. Thank you.